This is an overview of the front exhaust system I came up with to deal with the contaminated air being pushed out through the front vents. Right now it's being covered by the exhaust system. What happens is that when the machine is on, the radiator vents underneath it gets pushed a lot of air through the front vents. Especially when the inline fan is off. I usually turn on the inline fan when the laser is on. Otherwise, I leave the inline fan off because it's too noisy. And so a lot of contaminated air is being pushed out to the front. Without the front exhaust system, and all those particles gets circulated in my office, not to mention the smell, right? The smell, whatever that you are cutting. So I came up with a system just to minimize that. The unit itself is pretty well built. There are only a few gaps on the outside. And there are 2 gaps on the top glass panels, which I covered it with the corrugated PVC panels, and plus some weather strip and the top as well. And when these machines are manufactured, there are variations in terms of quality. My unit, the glass panels don't match, so the door is slightly higher than the sides. That's why I had to put the weather strip just to raise up a little bit, so that way no air can escape. And that only leaves a little tiny gap here where the contaminated air can get out. All right. And so the way the system works is that this 4-inch hose goes to a window. On the other end of the hose, I have a 120 millimeter fan that sucks the air out of here while the machine is on. But when I turn on the inline fan, the air needs to be sucking this direction through the chamber back to the rear duct out to the window. So when the laser is firing, the inline fan is on. I actually turn the 120 millimeter fan off on the other end of this hose, so that allows the air to get sucking here and flow through there. So we still have a fairly good airflow through the entire system. So, and the hose is detachable. It's using magnets. So when I am not using the machines, the hose actually lays down across the office floor. I don't want to trip over it, and plus it doesn't look very good. So I usually put the hose away, and I just detach it, and you put the cap on. So whatever that's contaminated stuff stays in there relatively, doesn't get circulated in the office. And so this design, actually before I go on, so I also tape off the gap of the front tray, use some painter tape. And that's the easiest solution because I don't use this, I don't take the tray out that often. And the handles actually screw onto the internal van. I'm not sure I can show you. I guess you can see it. It's right there at the end. It's 3 M3 screws that's actually connected to using the front vent. So this way is very rigid that you can support it. You can support the weight. So when I pull it out, I use both hands and the handle and pull them out, and that's no problem. So let me put the fan back on because I just cut something. It smells pretty bad. Speaking of the smell, this system doesn't completely eliminate the smell, nor completely eliminate the contaminated air that's get emitted from the unit, because underneath the radiator on the bottom side of the unit there are a whole bunch of openings underneath the radiator that allows the air to get sucked into the radiator. At the same time, I suspect a lot of contaminated air get pushed out underneath as well. That's why when I'm cutting something, I can pretty much smell the material right away. Despite everything gets sucked out of there, I don't see any smoke. The benefit of this unit right now is that after it's cut, the smell does not linger because the front fence being fended out. And so far it's working for me. I might look into ways to have the radius, the opening to join the hose here, and that will be a future project. For now, this is good enough for what I need. So I hope it will help you too. If you are like me, have no place to put this unit but in your home office, breathing in this contaminated air is really bad, especially if you have kids. Yeah, that could cause a lot of problems down in the future. All right, thanks for watching.